Hey everybody, meteorologist Brad Panovich here. Let's start talking about the Christmas outlook. We're now about 6-7 days out, depending on how you kind of calculate it. A week from right now will be Christmas Day, and people are getting all excited about their phone app showing a snowflake or somebody online posting a computer model. Well, not so fast. Let me tell you what's actually going to happen here. Remember the thing about your phone. If you're not using our app or a human powered app, you're using the stock weather app or the Weather Channel app. It's just using a computer model. So it's basically like calling your credit card for customer support and getting the computer. It's great to get like your current balance or your due date. But if you have a real problem with your bill, you want to talk to somebody. So here I am, a human, a person to tell you exactly what's going on. Remember, computer models are tools to build a forecast. They're not a forecast. It's like having nails, hammers, and saws and wood. That's not a house. You need somebody to put it together. So that's what we're going to do here. So why all the hubbub? Well, let me show you a couple things here. I'm going to, first of all, we're going to go into the future here, and I'll show you why there's some red flags for why I don't think we'll see snow next week. The good news is I do think it'll be cold, and I'll show you why. Got one system coming through this weekend. I'm starting wide here because I want to show you the overall pattern, and I'm going to stop this. We'll stop this the middle of next week. So this is Wednesday morning, 6 a.m. First red flag for me, super warm air over the southeast. Big ridge here, trough digging down. The freezing line is actually all the way up here in New England and into Canada. So this is super, super warm ahead of this system. That's not really a sign of having cold air in place. But what you do see is something I've been talking about for days, is this strong cold front and really cold air behind it. Now, the timing of this front is key. When does it get here? Does it get here on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day? That's why I've been saying, hey, we got to keep an eye on that front, because if it slows down, it could get here on Christmas Day, which means Christmas Day could be warm, wet, and stormy. It could get here on Christmas Eve, which means Christmas Day would be cold and dry. So the timing is still kind of out there, so we got to keep an eye on the timing of this as it pushes off to the east. So let's start looking at the timing of this. We'll go into the future here, and I'm going to stop this. This is basically Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Let's go into Christmas Eve morning. So Christmas Eve morning, this is, ooh, we're getting excited. Look, there's blue on the map. Be careful with this. What we have going on here is a strong Arctic cold front. Yes, for sure. We've got low pressure trying to form here. We've got really cold air coming in. This is a scenario where the cold air is chasing the moisture. That is not a scenario we see snow here, ever. Now, a rare occasion, I could count on two fingers in my 20 years that I've seen what's called an anafront. An anafront is where low pressure forms on the front, and moisture kind of behind the front in the cold air can produce some brief snow. Now, this typically is not a whole bunch of snow, usually not much snow for us. I've seen it with really, really strong Arctic fronts, and it gives us a quick blast of flurries or snow squall, but it's really rare, and it's really hard to get. And 7 days out, I'm very skeptical the model's going to handle this. But the other thing that people are missing on this setup here is there is some severe weather possibly right here. This is a very potent severe weather setup with dynamics. We've got a strong front. We've got warm air surging ahead. We've got a little low pressure system forming. So don't get caught up in just the snow chances possibly next week or the cold air. This is actually a severe weather risk, especially for parts of South Carolina and eastern North Carolina. That gets lost on people getting that vision of, ooh, snow, snow, snow. It's really, this could be a severe weather setup. So let's go through time and show you what the GFS model is showing. It shows that low tracking right over us, which again, that's not a good setup for snow because this low is pulling warm air back to the west. The cold air is undercutting here. That's typically not how we see snow here. I mean, I say typically, almost never do we see snow in the setup. Now, this is really cold. This is going into Christmas Eve night. I'm going to stop this Christmas morning. So Christmas morning, the GFS model, which everyone's freaking out about, bone dry. No snow on Christmas Day. It tried to show a few flurries or snow on Christmas Eve, but that looked wishy-washy. And on Christmas Day, it's cold and dry. So right there, that's a sign that that's a really cold, actually, Christmas Day and dry, which makes sense based on the timing. But let's say that front slows down and it's over us here on Christmas Day. So all that mess we had on Christmas Eve could be over us on Christmas Day. Let's say the front speeds up and this is long gone. Then we would actually have cold, dry weather. Now, if we really wanted a legit chance, like a pattern for snow, what I would want to see is this front to come through on Tuesday. And we be in this cold air already, and another system coming down here to throw moisture back into the cold. That is our typical snow setup for the Carolinas. So this is the actual scenario that if I saw that, I would be much more excited. But the fact that this is the only front and it gets really warm ahead of it next week is kind of wishy-washy. I'm not really keen on that. So just to show you what it looks like next week as far as winter weather chances, this is through Christmas morning. You can see, yeah, there's a 10 to 30% chance of accumulating snows in eastern Tennessee and the mountains right now. Zilch here east of the mountains. So this is reality. I mean, I'm not trying to be a buzzkill. I love snow. I'd love to see a white Christmas, especially this year. But right now, there's nothing that points to that happening. The bigger story, I think, is how cold could it be on Christmas Day? And just to show you the ensemble's full transparency here, I like showing you. So this is the European model. And one of the things we look at, you can see on the left here, here's all 51 members of the ensemble of the European model. Let me see if I can pan this down for you to see it a little bit better. We'll make it a little bit smaller. Whoops, that didn't help. Let me zoom in a little bit. So you can see Christmas, I can't get this all on screen here. Let me see if I can move this a little bit. So basically this is Christmas, the 25th, the 26th right here. There's only 3 or 4 of the members show snow, accumulating snow by Christmas out of 51. And if I show you the GFS ensemble, here is the 25th right here as well. It shows 3. So I found 6 out of 82 ensembles that had snow on Christmas. That's only 7% of all the ensemble members. That's super. 7 days out, I see a 7% chance. That is super low, especially at that time frame. So in full transparency, that's why the chances are incredibly low right now. But as I mentioned, this pattern is going to be super cold. In fact, let me show you this. I think this to me is what is exciting if you love cold and snow, is this is our pattern going into Christmas. You see this big dip in the jet stream and a huge anomalous trough. So this is cold air, okay? If this can stay in place and a storm system undercut it, this is a better setup. If we wanted snow on Christmas Day, and the last time we had 2010, what we had is this trough set up ahead of Christmas, and then we had a storm come in. The problem is the storm that's bringing the cold air is the one that's arriving on Christmas Eve. That's not the way our snow works out here, unfortunately. For us to get snow on Christmas, we would have to have this front, which is right here. This would have to come in early in the week. We'd want this to come in on Monday or Tuesday or even Wednesday, move through, and then have another system come through on the backside and bring us the snow. So right now, the chance of snow on Christmas, if I had to put a chance on it, historically, it's about 3%. Right now, I'd put it at about 5%. That's about the best I can do. Of course, I will post updates. They will have actual real information. We won't rely heavily on just one model. We'll look at all of them and give you an accurate forecast. The good news is I can tell you if this front gets through here on time, it's not going to be 70 and sunny on Christmas. It might barely be in the 40s with sunny skies. Have a great day, everybody.